Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships and Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we have our very first look at the Tier 7 Russian battleship, the Lenin. So, let's get into the commander. We have Lev Galler. We run Andrew Cunningham and Charles Madden as our inspirations. We are running Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Collective Labor for the extra damage control, and we also have Reaching Out XXL. We are also running Will to Rebuild. That's going to be a big topic today. But if we move over into the actual ship, we are running Aiming Systems Mod 1, Damage Control Mod 2, we are running Target Acquisition System Mod, and we are running Main Battery Mod 3. So all of this ends up with us using the spotter plane. We are running the Epic Battle Booster. We're running the camo that comes with it, and the community contributor flag. Survivability, you have 63,200 hit points. The armor, not the greatest, but not horrible either, especially considering all the guns are at the front. This is a Russian Nelson. It's actually pretty good. Torpedo damage reduction, 22%, so not quite as good as the Iowa. Artillery, you have 406mm guns, you have 9 of them, and they're all at the front. Firing range is 19.2 kilometers with this build. Reload time is 28.4 seconds with this build. 180-degree turn time is 27.2 seconds, which is pretty good. HE shell damage of 6,040 with a chance to set fire of 41%. AP shell damage of 14,148. With secondaries, you have 12 100mm guns reaching out to 5.2, and you have 152mm guns. You have 12 of those that reach out to 5.2 as well. Now, maneuverability, you can go 27.3 knots with this build. Turning circle is 840, so better than Iowa, not quite as good as Alabama. Rudder shift is 13.5 seconds, which is pretty much usual. Concealment, 14.7 kilometers, so not bad. Anything under 15 is always a plus in a battleship. Detectability by air is 12.3. Guaranteed detectability is always 2, and detectability while firing in smoke is 14.8. Now, here's for the nitty-gritty. So here's the armor that we're looking at. First of all, the first thing you're going to notice is the fore and aft armor. You have 50mm of the icebreaker bow. Okay, I think that's the icebreaker bow. Either way, you got 50mm at the waterline on the bow, and then above that you have 32mm above and below it. So the only thing getting through the nose is Yami, and Yami can only go through the upper and lower part of the bow. If they hit the waterline, Yami can't even overmatch it, okay, because it's 50mm. Alright, so then on top of that, if we remove that now, we have the Torpedo Protection, which again, it's minimal. It's 38mm, so you're not gonna get a whole lot of protection from that. But if we take away the superstructure, we have the deck armor is 32 to 150. We take that away, and the guns, and we see in the back the auxiliary room. I'm not 100% sure what that's for, but yeah, it's a thing. We'll get rid of that. And we have our Citadel. And this is the problem with the Russian battleships. They have a raised Citadel. The Citadel extends above the waterline of the ship, which means if you over-angle, if you get caught broadside, you're getting Citadeled. Not just hit, but Citadeled easily. And that is the biggest issue with Russian battleships in general. But luckily, the amount of times that you're going to get caught broadside in this thing is minimal because all your guns are at the front. So basically, as long as you're careful at the beginning of the match, you're going to be fine. So let's look at the overview. Superior AP penetration, above average AP shell penetration, that is the Russian perk. And then sure shot, shells with a good ballistic trajectory, maintain velocity, making aiming easier. Again, another perk with the Russians. A lot of ships have this, but the Russians are like specialties in it. But this also means that they have a really flat trajectory and can't really aim over things. Agile, above average ability to change direction. Yeah, like I said, it's better than Iowa's, but not quite as good as, say, the Alabama or the Massachusetts. But it is pretty good, and I have done some serious torpedo beats in this thing. One of the variants of high-speed battleships with a 406mm battery, it was Project 21, developed under the Big Ocean Going Fleet program. A distinctive feature of the project was the concentration of the main battery turrets in the ship's bow. Year of design was 1936, so it was never built, as is the case with literally every Russian ship just about. But it is a good-looking ship. I think it looks better than the Nelson, and the extra armor does help a lot. So, let's take a look around her, and then we'll head into the game to check out this thing in action. Also, the rear of the ship looks very interesting. I like it. A lot of people have been given that grief, but I kind of like it. But, let's get into it. Alrighty, so we are going to be on the Atlantic, and we're going to try to put ourselves into a decent position, but then we're going to get greedy, and we're going to pay the price. You'll see what I mean in a moment. The Atlantic and I have a bad reputation with one another. Like, we don't get along. There's a few maps that I just struggle on, and this is one of them. This one and North are the two, like, that I really just don't really care for. I do have some good matches on them, but I just don't like them. This one, the reason I don't like it is just because I always end up getting caught. Like, I do the same thing every time, and I expect a different result, and it always ends up the same way for me. But I did forget that I am in a Russian battleship. And so, right off the bat, you're going to see me pushing forward. I'm going to turn to the left. I like to get close to the big island and push around the nose of that island. But one thing that it causes is you tend to get spotted. Now, the good news is there's only one destroyer on each team. So, not a whole lot to worry about on the destroyer side of things. But, as you're about to see, when people get spotted, I tend to shoot at them. And that is a very dumb thing to do when you're in a Russian battleship and you're broadside to the entire enemy team, like I am currently. Now, this thing isn't a bad ship, so don't take us the wrong way, but it is a Russian battleship, and if you're broadside in a Russian battleship, you're going to get pounded, and you're going to get pounded hard, as we are about to in 3, 2, 1, and... Did we get away with it? I think we got away with it for the moment. Surprising. Nope, there they are. There goes half our hit points. Yeah. Russian battleships, folks. They're good until you screw up. And then they pay the ultimate price. But we survive. Now we need to get ourselves out of trouble, which means turning away now. And we are being set on fire by the cruiser that's in a smoke screen over there. So we need to get away from him. The good news is, Russian battleships are pretty good at not having to worry too much about damage controls because you get a limited number of them, but they're very quick. We do get a nice, good shot here at the Colorado, and that's going to be a pretty solid hit with one Citadel, 27,000 damage in that salvo. But we're going to turn away. Notice I didn't put out the one fire because obviously it's one fire. We can get away with it for now. But we do definitely need to make sure that we are not the, oh my god, Fiji. What are you doing? There are 3 battleships over here. We're all spotted and you are stopped and now going to reverse in the middle of the freaking water. Wait for it. Shot out and, come on, baby. Pow! Gone. That's what happens when you decide, I think I'll just sit here in the open in my cruiser and start reversing. Like, no, why would you do that? But I appreciate it. We're up to 69,000 damage. So we have 3 Citadels already, which is the thing that I want to point out. Now, you have to use our damage con here. We have no choice. Now, notice we do not have will to rebuild. I don't think. Maybe we do, but I don't think we do. Clearly, we don't. But we have a broadside Vanguard out there who is just begging for it. We got to wait for the thumb little rock to get out of the way, and because we're kiting away, we're still able to shoot really well, and we get 1 ricochet because he stopped reversing, unfortunately, and of course they get another fire immediately. Why wouldn't they? Now, our damage con isn't off a cooldown yet. Normally, I wouldn't say damage con a single fire, but we don't have much of a choice. We've already used both of our heals. We're getting to the point where we are out of harm's way as far as potential HE. So we do burn it. We get rid of that single fire. And now we are undetected. We do fire our guns. We don't get detected because we're behind the rock. And the only one close enough to detect us is these two battleships. We get a pretty decent result here with 10,000 damage. Not too bad. And we're going to start pushing around. Now, I make some mistakes in this. Well, I've already made a bunch of mistakes. We've lost all of our hit points already. But I'm going to make some more mistakes before this one's over. But it's in an effort to try to get my teammates to, like, push. Which is something you'll see me do a lot. Like, I try to put myself in a position that my teammates feel more confident doing what they're supposed to do. It's about the only way you can get them to do their jobs most times. And this is no exception. We got a Gneiseno over there, we got a Vanguard over there, and we are against a Vanguard and a Gneiseno. Why our Gneiseno doesn't just run forward and torp the piss out of that freaking Vanguard is beyond me. I don't understand it. It's the only Gneiseno I've ever seen that doesn't try to use his torps. But their Gneiseno is doing basically the same thing. He's sitting in the back as well. We've got us a pretty good angle on this Vanguard now. We've got him in a crossfire. He can't bow tank everybody. So he's got to choose. And that's going to leave him open to be hit. And so that's the goal here. That's why I was swinging so far out. So he chooses to bow tank 2 ships and leaves his broadside to me, and that's not going to end well for you, Sunshine. So we get a very good angle on him finally. We get a shot off, and yeah, we take all of his health, but of course in true Spartan fashion, got to leave him with just enough for somebody else to finish. But notice they're struggling. He's using his heal. We don't have a heal left, but he's using his heal and they're struggling to kill him because they're shooting HE. Really? Like, you guys can't figure out that shooting British battleships with HE is not the smartest play in the world? But we assume we were going to kill him with the first shell, and of course that is the shell that decides to go wherever the heck it went. It literally completely missed his ship. And then we hit the Gneiseno, and the Vanguard is still alive. Now, charging a Gneiseno is a pretty stupid idea. Why? Because he has torps. But look, torpedoes, guys. It's fine. We have no trouble. Now, our Gneiseno should be rushing forward right now and getting ready to torp him back. And we're going to get some really good damage off of this Gneiseno. We've let them get themselves into a bad position. We are doing the best we can to try to angle our armor somewhat effectively. His secondaries are doing a pretty good job. Our secondaries are doing a pretty good job. Everybody's beating each other up. And now we're bow in. And he's going to really struggle to do much of anything to me, with the exception of he has torpedoes. And even though he just launched those not that long ago, I forgot these are quick reloading torpedoes. And so we get baited in to getting closer and closer and closer to this guy. And I'm assuming torpedoes are going to be coming pretty soon. We do take 2 fires, unfortunately, from my right side as Jean-Bart decided to show up, and that's not what you want to see. But unfortunately, we go down to the torpedoes from the Gneiseno. But again, if these guys had just decided to push forward at any point instead of just sitting there for so long, like, we would have ran over these guys. It wouldn't have even been close. Their Gneiseno should have been able to torp the Vanguard. The Vanguard, me, and the Gneiseno, then 3v1 the Gneiseno, no problem. But I got a little too crazy in this one. Right off the bat, took half my health and damage because I'm a dummy, and then ended up running into the torps of the Gneiseno there. But we ended up with 135,000 damage for this match, which just shows you that this thing isn't a bad ship. I put it in some bad situations, got myself, paid the price for it. But it just shows you that Russian battleships are a lot of fun as long as you keep them pointing forward. Because if you get caught broadside, you will pay the price. Now, as the team pushes out here, we've got this Gneiseno, and I don't know what to say. Like, the Vanguard is hanging back. It looks like he's going to go around the left side of the island. This Gneiseno is possibly doing the right thing. Looks like he may decide to park here and take shots at the broadside of Magi that's 7 kilometers from him, which is absolutely a good play. some of the decision making that people make is interesting, and I know I do some of the same things sometimes, but I've never seen a timid Gneisenau before, ever. And we've seen 2 of them in this match, so I don't know why. I don't know if they just don't know the strengths of the ship, or if they just play way too passively for my liking. But he finally gets close enough, launches his torps, but Amagi goes down. And then, as he pushes around the corner, he is now given his full broadside to the enemy Jean Bart. Now, the Vanguard is pushing up, and he is also giving his full broadside to an enemy Jean Bart. And the Jean Bart is making him pay for it. He gets a good shot into the side of the Jean Bart, but Jean Bart has a reload booster and also has a faster reload than you stock. So, guess what? You die. That's how that works. Wait for it. Jean Bart is about to fire. And 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's right. He's firing HE. Forgot. The Vanguard hasn't discovered that he can switch ammo types yet. It's really annoying. Vanguard goes down. Gneisenau has decided to chase out to the cruiser, which is baffling because instead of pointing his bow towards the one guy that's the most dangerous, he's pointing his broadside to the guy that's the most dangerous. Belfast is being chased down by a Massachusetts. Like, I don't understand the decision making here. Again, I just don't understand it. So, the Jean Bart's actually, you know, spoiler alert, is going to kill our Gneisenau solely because our Gneisenau gives up his ship to be shot instead of attacking the Jean Bart and finishing him off. Massachusetts, I'm assuming, is tank built and can't shoot, so there goes our Gneisenau. Could be. I'm not sure. Maybe he's just had some bad luck. But it's not likely for us to lose this. It would be really, really hard for our team to throw this match this hard. But I've seen crazier things happen. I really have. And so I just look back at this, and the more I look at it, the more I'm like hating myself for giving up half my hit points in the first minute and a half of the game because I just had to get the guns firing. Even though I knew I was in a dangerous position, I fired the guns, put myself in a bad position, and paid the price. And I'm looking back at this because I'm like, man, I could have had a whole lot more damage in this one. Whole lot more damage. I'd have been able to shoot the Jean Bart, then I'd have been able to shoot the Belfast. It would have been great. I'd have had all kinds of damage. Probably 170,000 damage instead of the 135, at least. But everybody's starting to do their thing. Jean Bart's being finished off. Everybody's spamming HE at him, and he goes down. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this match. It was a fun one. The Lenin's an interesting ship. It's like a tankier Nelson. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I ended up with 135,000 damage, devastating strike, high caliber, top of the leaderboard with 2,000 base XP, even though I was one of the earliest people killed, which just shows, again, how good this could have been. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.